Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss economics MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions. So let's start our session. Our first question is, a rise in Sensex means option A rise in prices of shares of all companies registered with BSE. That is incorrect. Option B, a rise in prices of shares of all companies registered with NSE. That is incorrect. Option C, an overall rise in prices of shares of group of companies registered with BSE. That is correct. So here answer to this question is option C. A rise in Sensex means increase in Sensex reflects the overall mood of the economy. That is, investors are positive about the growth of Indian economy and expect that it will be sustained in future. It indicates the performance of Indian economy. But a rise in Sensex doesn't necessarily mean that the price of your stock also moves up. Sensex refers to the benchmark index of the Bombay Stock Exchange in India. Sensex is comprised of 30 of the largest and most actively traded stocks on the Bombay Stock Exchange and provides a gauge of India's economy. So here answer to this question is option C. India's two main stock exchanges are Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. These two are amongst Asia's largest stock exchange, surpassed only by the stock exchanges of Japan and China. Bombay Stock Exchange is one of Asia's oldest stock exchange, beginning operations on July 9, 1875 as the Native Share and Stockbrokers Association. Bombay Stock Exchange offers a legacy of high-speed trading. Its stock index Sensex gives top 30 stock index. The Sensex is reviewed semi-annually each year in June and December. Created in 1986, the Sensex is the oldest stock index in India. National Stock Exchange is India's biggest stock exchange in terms of market capitalization. Its operation beginning in 1992, it was the first exchange to bring in fully automated trading to India. National Stock Exchange Index, that is Nifty, gives top 50 stock index. Next is the per capita income in India was Rs20 in 1867 to 68 was ascertained for the first time by which of the following personalities? Options are M.G. Ranade, Sir W.H. Hunter, R.C. Dutt and Dadabhai Naoroji. The answer to this question is option D, Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji was not satisfied with the official estimates regarding national income of India during the British rule. The Indian Economist was the only journal which gave such knowledge in those days. Naoroji regarded this information regarding country's prosperity as insufficient and misleading. On the basis of the official data, Naoroji himself calculated the per capita income for the years 1867 to 70 at Rs20 only. On the other hand, the basic requirement of an ordinary laborer as calculated by him was about Rs 34. He published these matters in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. So here answer to this question is option D, Dadabhai Naoroji. Next is, which of the following was the objective of National Renewal Fund, NRF? Option A, to safeguard the interest of workers who may be affected by technological upgradation of industry or closure of sick units. That is correct. Option B, to develop the core sector of the economy. That is incorrect. Option C, for the development of infrastructure such as energy. That is incorrect. Option D, for human resource development such as full literacy. That is incorrect. So here answer to this question is option A. Main objective of the National Renewal Fund, that is NRF, was to provide a social safety net to the workers who are likely to be affected by technological upgradation and modernization in the Indian industry. NRF was abolished by the government in 2000 and administration of the VRS scheme was shifted to Department of Public Enterprises. The reason for abolishing NRF was that most of the payments under this were made for VRS and this fund did not serve adequately the purpose of retraining and rehabilitation. Further, private sector was also listed as one of the beneficiaries of the NRF, but later it was felt that this fund should deal exclusively with the public sector units only. So here answer to this question is option A. Next is, economic liberalization in India started with option A, substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. That is correct. Option B, the convertibility of Indian rupee. That is incorrect. Option C, doing away with procedural formalities for foreign direct investment. That is incorrect. Option D, significant reduction in tax rates. That is incorrect. So here answer to this question is option A, substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. In order to get out of the macroeconomic crisis in 1991, India launched a new economic policy which was based on LPG, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization model. The broad range of reforms under the LPG model included abolition of industrial license permit raj and reduction of import tariffs under liberalizing industrial policy, deregulation of markets and banking reforms under privatization, exchange rate correction, liberalizing foreign direct investment and trade policies, and removal of mandatory convertibility under globalization. These reforms are credited for the high economic growth seen from 1991 to 2011. So here answer to this question is option A, substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. Next is the Global Infrastructure Facility is option A, ASEAN initiative to upgrade infrastructure in Asia and financed credit from the Asian Development Bank. That is incorrect. Option B, World Bank collaboration that facilitates the preparation and structuring of complex infrastructure public-private partnership to enable mobilization of private sector and institutional investor capital. That is correct. So here answer to this question is option B. The Global Infrastructure Facility is a global open platform that facilitates the preparation and structuring of complex infrastructure public-private partnership to enable mobilization of private sector and institutional investor capital. The GIF platform coordinates and integrates the efforts of multilateral development banks, private sector investors and financiers, and governments interested in infrastructure investment in emerging markets and developing economies. It's an initiative of G20. So here answer to this question is option B. Next is which of the following statements best describes the term schemes for sustainable structuring of stressed assets, that is S4A. Option A, it's a procedure for considering ecological cost of developmental schemes formulated by the government. That is incorrect. Option B, it's a scheme of RBI for reworking the financial structure of big corporate entities facing genuine difficulties. That is correct. So here answer to this question is option B. Debt recovery and restructuring of strategic debt are some of the main concerns of many corporate companies. The scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed assets was launched by RBI to address the large stressed assets of corporate sector. S4A scheme was launched on 2016 by the RBI as an initiative to address and resolve the debt issues of the corporate sector. So here answer to this question is option B. Next is the Indian rupee is fully convertible. Option 1 in respect of current account balance of payments. Option 2 in respect of capital account of balance of payments. Option 3 into gold. Which of these statements is or are correct? Here answer to this question is option A, 1 only. The convertibility of a currency such as rupee has different meanings in different times. In existing standards, it means that country's currency become convertible in foreign exchange and vice versa in the market. Today the rupee is fully convertible on the current account, allowing it to be converted into other currencies and vice versa for transactions such as export and imports of goods and services. Capital account convertibility refers to the freedom to convert the foreign financial assets with the local financial assets and vice versa at the exchange rate determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Currently, India has a partially convertible capital account policy. So here answer to this question is option A, statement 1 only is correct. Next is gilt-edged means option A, bullion market, option B, market of government securities, option C, market of guns, option D, market of pure metals. Here answer to this question is option B, market of government securities. Gilt-edged is the government securities market guaranteed by government. As the securities are risk-free, they are known as gilt-edged. That is the best quality securities. RBI plays a major role in gilt-edged market through its open market operations. So your answer to this question is option B. Next is the first Indian state to have its Human Development Report prepared and released by Amartya Kumar Sen in Delhi is options are West Bengal, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. Here answer to this question is option C, Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh was the first state to have calculated Human Development Report in 1995 under the guidance of Professor Amartya Sen. India's 8th 5-year plan for 1991 to 96 has human development as its ultimate goal. For that, the central state of Madhya Pradesh has decided to compile district-wide human development profiles as part of a national human development strategy. So here answer to this question is option C, Madhya Pradesh. Next is the earlier name of the WTO was options are UNIDO, UNCTAD, OECD and GATT. Here answer to this question is option D, GATT. From the early days of the Silk Road to the creation of the General Agreements on Tariff and Trade, that is GATT, and the birth of the WTO, trade has played an important role in supporting economic development and promoting peaceful relations among nations. World Trade Organization is the only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between nations. At its heart are the WTO agreements negotiated and signed by the bulk of the world's trading nation and ratified in their parliaments. WTO has 164 members and 23 observer governments.